know what? Britney Spears' Memoir is a huge bestseller, and I can tell you, I listened to it, and it's magnificent. It's funny, it's moving, it's just terrific, and it paints a much different portrait than the way she's been portrayed.
Personally, Britney Spears' Memoir have been one of the best-selling book now from what is happening, and she went and said that for the past 5 years, the media have had a wrong picture about her, and they see her in a different way. They paint her in a different perspective. Looking at the memoir, looking at it, she talks about William, the Williams, the actor, the actress. She did a great job in reading the memoir, and which really brings a good portray from the way Britney Spears portray it. She'll tell, when I was 19, this happened. When I was 15, this happened. So it brought a lot of difference, a lot of perspective, the way she was being portrayed by the media. So you ask yourself, why did I not think that all this were being portrayed just by the media to make her look differently? So let's go ahead and watch and see.
In the media, and I think it will change a lot of people's minds.
And you said it was narrated by
Michelle Williams, who has done
the great actor.
Yeah, a delicious job of reading this young woman's memoirs. And I have to tell you, when you read it and she reminds you of stuff, and she reminds you, I was 19 when this happened, or I was, 15 when this happened, and you realize how people have portrayed her in the last 5 or 6 or 10 years. You kind of go, damn. Yeah. Why didn't I remember they were doing this to her this way? It's terrific. Do yourself a favor. I wish I had it to give it to you, but I don't.
You've been talking about it all morning and how fast everyone I've heard that's read it was like it took them one day to get through it. But I think it will absolutely change minds because she was so young and all she had was for the media to tell the story. Like she didn't have the access to have this book down. She finally gets to tell us what was really happening from her perspective, which was the most important all along.
And think about the fact of being under that type of glare, that glare of media when you're 15 or your 20s, because, she talks about her chapter with Justin Timberlake. And Lance Bass, one of his former bandmates, said, I hope that you can show him some grace and forgiveness. And this is Britney's story, and I hope you can show her some grace. And I was thinking, I did some crazy stuff when I was in my 20s, and I'm so glad there were no cameras around me. Yeah. I'm so glad there was no social media, because I would not be sitting here.
The little good Catholic girl?
I went to college at 16. I was a maniac, and so
let me tell you about Catholic girls.
I think people forget.
And it comes from a Catholic girl.
People forget how young she was.
This woman has been through hell in two folds. The way she was treated by the media. I brought this up before, but at 17, a Dutch TV interviewer asked her to comment on her breasts. My gosh, how do you feel about implants? 17 years old. But also on top of that, the conservatorship, which I think rightly caused a lot of outcry from the public about just taking basic rights away from a person. She didn't have a lot of places to turn, and I love hearing her story because she is powerful. She's an icon. She's incredibly talented, but she has been through so much. And what you do, I just started reading it, she shows Justin a ton of grace. So I actually hope people read it before they jump to judgment from some of the flashy headlines.
Which is really important, because one of the stories that she tells, which really enraged me, is she talks about, and I can't recall which show it was, but she sang and danced, because this is what she was born to do. She wanted to sing and dance. That's all she ever wanted to do.
At it.
Since she wanted to be a dancer, wanted to be a singer, and she was on stage and she was dressed kind of like a football player, but she was dancing and doing a thing, and so they brought her backstage to show her audience response to what she was doing. And they were watching her, waiting for her to see if she was going to burst into tears, to see if they could get a reaction to this. And she said, listen, some of the people were nice, some of the people were not, but all I wanted to do was sing and dance. I have no idea what you're talking about when you say I look too sexy. I'm sorry, this is what I'm dancing, I'm singing, this is what we do. And I thought, this is what we do. And this is what we do in the media. We make judgment calls and then they stick. because our words have weight. So until we walk
After watching the Britney Spears memo, both all of them come with they say most people read that memo for a day and they came out with their own different point of view. According to WHOOPI, she see her truth in it, and people are judging Britney Spears from a wrong perspective. You have to first read the entire book before judging her. Some of them say she was very young. At 15, the camera was on her, and back then, 15 years, people do a lot of crazy stuff. Some of them went ahead and said that even if if there was camera, like when they were very young, entering college as Alicia, she could have not been sitting there because she did a lot of crazy things while she was in college. She was very young at 16, she got in college, so she did a lot of dumb things that if they had camera back then, the social media was like the way it is now, she could have not been sitting where she is, like being the host of the views, because a lot of her past was not very happy one to talk about. So some of them give a lot of stuff about themselves. They talk about that if you have not been in somebody's show, you cannot talk about that. They talk about Britney Spears being nice. She forgive Justice. She went ahead and forgive him in that book and let her anger, she forgive him, which was a good thing. They talk about she was young and all she knows was that she was born to dance and to sing. That's what she wanted to do. And they talk about one of the performance, she was dressed in a football outfit and she went there dancing. When they brought her behind stage, the audience wanted to see her respond from what she was going to say, and they asked her about the clothes that she was dressing, that she was sexy. They were waiting for her to cry or laugh just to see her respond, but to her, she didn't seem anything wrong with that. To her, she was dressing for the show, and she was dressed to do that. She was born to do that, and she loved doing what she was doing. So, mind person who is just free. So what do you really think? Do you really accord with Britney Spears that they should not it is not good to judge somebody before knowing them? It's good to know someone before judging them. That also, if you have not worn somebody's shoe, you cannot really explain the pain they feel. So if you wore the shoe she was wearing, you could have been able to feel that same pain she's feeling. So basically, let me see your own point of view on the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do not forget to subscribe and help share the video. Thank you very much and God bless you.